In the United States and many other Western countries, we see monarchy as a foreign and strange concept. There's a common misconception that the monarch of the Commonwealth doesn't hold any power in the modern day. But today, a Scottish monarchist named Semper Ad Juvans will come on and explain the reasoning behind his views. Sorry if this comes off as overly mean, but are you real? You hit a lot of the notes of a parody account, so I just want to make sure.
No worries, I am real. I'm an unironic version of many ironic tropes, and you're not the first person to question my sincerity. I must admit I see conservatism as the default, so I don't consider myself particularly extreme. But I suppose everybody is normal to himself.
I call you an extremist because you believe in a strong monarchy, which is pretty much gone nowadays.
Strong monarchy does exist, just not in the West.
What major power still practices strong monarchy? I know some small countries do, but do you see any major powers as an example?
Most of the Middle Eastern countries are monarchies, and much of Africa, whilst Republican sovereign states are covered by monarchical tribal groups. The most obvious group, though, is the Commonwealth.
If you use the Commonwealth as an example, does that mean you wouldn't mind a mostly symbolic monarch like in the UK?
I think the Windsor crowns are far more powerful than most Americans realize. Whilst Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is careful with her exercise of power, she has dismissed the Australian Parliament in the past, a clear exercise of power. The political mainstream in the UK is very Whiggish right now, so the Crown must be careful with public intervention. But an examination of the Black Spider letters is a good example of the day-to-day cycle of the monarchy in running the state.
What is your opinion on what a country like the US should do, since it has no monarchy to pull from? Do you believe we should establish one, or what?
The US should join the Commonwealth as a republic and consider sharing the British and Canadian monarchy in the future. The 13 colonies are the foundation of the United States, which is why I consider Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as the rightful Empress of America.
I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but I don't think anyone would really be on board with that here, especially considering the US has a much larger population and economy than the UK. I'm curious what you think of that.
Being a monarchist often means hoping for the unlikely. It's the price paid for being right, I suppose.
To take a step back, why do you believe in monarchy in the first place?
Well, for one, there's clear support for it in the Bible.
So, just to be clear, would you still be a monarchist if you weren't Christian, or is that your main reason?
I would still be a monarchist, I expect, but a change that fundamental, I'm not really sure I can say anything with certainty. Maybe I'd be a crazy communist.
So, what are your other reasons?
Well, I consider it to be the most natural form of government. The legacy of the ruler relies on the well-being of the nation. It keeps ultimate control away from the hands of vote-pandering politicians. It satisfies the human need for hierarchy, values beauty as a component of the state, and I believe legitimacy comes from above, not below. It's also a unifying cultural symbol, acts as a referee between political factions, allows for loyalty to the state while opposing the government, and provides continuity with one's ancestors. Finally, it keeps people humble by admission that they are subjects of another.
So do you believe that one bloodline is superior to another bloodline? If we all come from one origin, whether that be evolution or Adam and Eve, how do you determine who the monarch is?
I don't believe any bloodline is superior, and accept that all men are created equal. Christ teaches that leadership is a service, so the fact that one family rules doesn't put them metaphysically above the rest in my eyes. An employer, though higher in rank, is equal in moral and spiritual worth to an employee.
Interesting. So in that case, how do you pick the ruler? Just by tradition?
They'd be chosen by the established succession laws of the kingdom. Normally that's hereditary, but some degree of election is not unheard of.
Thanks for coming on. You can find the link to his websites in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video interesting or informative. Although I'm not a monarchist, I think it's good to learn about other ideologies to create a better one for yourself. Please share the video if you enjoyed, and goodbye.